and I followed it for 6 months, and it grew and grew and grew, and I think it's the kind of story that anybody can do. It doesn't take a lot of skills or expertise in any area, it's just humanity. That's what I think this story is mostly about. How many of you guys have read The Girl in the Window? How many of y'all have seen the multimedia? Okay, I'm going to start out with that. I'm sorry if it overlaps, but I thought for people who hadn't read it, my worst talent as a journalist is multimedia, and this was the very first thing that I had ever done as multimedia. And to be really honest, we had worked on this story for about 4 months. We were going to publish it in Easter, and we went to have a meeting with all of our editors and the photo editor, and they were like, "Oh, that's so great! Oh my God, we love your story. We love your photos." Melissa Little did the wonderful photos. They were like, "Well, what do you have for the web?" And we went, we hadn't even thought about the web. We hadn't done anything for the web. So we went back. They gave us another 6 weeks, and we went back and we re-interviewed people on audio. We did some video to go with it. So it's really a multimedia. It's audio under slides. It's stills. It's a little bit of video. It's me talking. This won a couple prizes, which now I don't think 2 years later it would have won anything because it's very remedial if you see it. But we'll show it first and give you an overview of what was on the website. The other thing, I feel like I'm starting at the end, but when they said they wanted to do a multimedia on the web, I was kind of selfish as a writer, and I thought, gosh, I don't want people to just watch the video and not read my story. You know, I've worked really hard on the story. And I had a lot of foot dragging about it. But the guy who runs our website put a tracker on it, and he found out at the end, we had 1 million views in the first week of the story. It crashed the website of the St. Pete Times. They had to hire a new consultant guy to put more parameters in to get comments and stuff. But what they figured out about a month after the story ran was that as many people were coming to the video and then reading the story as they were reading the story and then coming to the video. So I was like, yes! People are still reading our words, you know. This story ran real long. It was, I don't know that they do this anymore 2 years later. You know, the cost of print newspaper and all of our sections have shrunk. I don't know if you guys are having that problem too. When I started the St. Pete Times, 60 inches was a really average length for a Sunday story. Now if I get 30, I'm like, thank you so much, because it's just all shrunk. But they ran this in one big section, and they took out all of the, this is the Sunday feature section, and they took out all the ads and the wedding announcements and everything else, Gene Weingarten and horoscopes and everything that normally goes in our feature section. And they just ran it, just words and pictures. And I'll pass this around, but it was the first time we'd ever done anything like this. And I think really it was the story that did it. It wasn't me. It was the story that came about, that they realized how much people could connect with it. So I'll show you the video, and then if you guys have questions, we can do that, and then I'll kind of get into the anatomy of how I got the story and how I reported it, and hopefully it'll help you guys get a little bit empowered to know these ordinary stories can turn into something pretty cool.